Hello, welcome to Your Health. My name is Lisa Hart. Today we are discussing the All of Us research program at UCI, the goals and visions for national precision medicine research. My guests are Dr. Hoda Anton Culver, UCI School of Medicine Director, Mr. Rick Ganota, CEO of UCI's Medical Center, and Dr. Stephen Chesler, UCI endocrinologist. Welcome and thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hoda, we've interviewed you before, and
Yes.
we've talked a lot about the All of Us research program. Why don't you give us an overview of what we're really looking at?
We are looking at a new national program that is going to solve a lot of problems of health and disease, and it will make sure that every individual is going to have the precision for diagnosis, treatment, and survivorship.
Okay, excellent. And I know we have a few slides that we'd like to show. So to start us
Yes.
off, primarily, let's talk about how this all came about.
Well, it came about in 2015, 2016, when the Cures Act was introduced to Congress and to the National Institutes of Health. Mm-hmm. And it was then described as the thing that is going to solve problems for healthcare, will reduce the cost of healthcare, and it will make sure that every individual is going to be the characteristics of every individual in order to prevent their disease, to tell them what they are at risk for, mm-hmm. and to try to treat their disease early, so there will be no after effects of the disease or chronic conditions.
So what we're looking at now is your mission statement. Go ahead and just tell me how this is going to help everybody by you guys doing this.
Right. So the program is going to change medicine the way we see it. Mm-hmm. And it will change it through research, technology, and policies that empower patients, researchers, and providers to work together toward the development of individualized treatment. Mm-hmm. That's really needed. Right now, it is one size fits all, so every individual who have one disease will be treated by that generic kind of treatment.
Right.
We will be moving into specialized and very personalized medicine.
Okay, so let's talk about all of these different factors that sort of tie it all together.
Right. So the way that we see the mission is divided into three main things. One is the relationship of the individual to the healthcare providers and to the research community at large. Mm-hmm. And also we see it as a robust system that will make sure that researchers will have access to fantastic data in order to do the discoveries necessary to improve our health, right, and to diagnose disease very specifically.
Okay.
And the third is to deliver the largest biomedical research and healthcare database, so everybody will have access to it, and right, we will all benefit from it. Obviously, it does affect healthcare very significantly, right, and Rick can tell you more about that.
Definitely, chime in.
Yeah, I would say this, the All of Us mission, when we get down to specifics such as UCI Health, it overlaps and reconciles perfectly with UCI Health's mission of discover, teach, and heal. Mm-hmm. I think what's important about the All of Us project, the initiative itself, is that you can't do it unless you're powered by a research university that has the content experts, clinicians, scientists, etc., who could make that activity come to life in a way that's translatable and in almost real time actionable. And what do I mean by that? I think that a lot of the folks who participate in the study, they'll have access to much of their data, which is fantastic when you look at the onset of diseases, et cetera, and the ability to intervene in advance. Mm-hmm. I think more importantly, what we want to send out as a message, and I will speak on behalf of UCI Health, is that we're here for you not only to provide the care and clinical services that you might need in an emergency or routinely for elective surgeries, but also to deliver cutting-edge research to enable folks to be part of clinical trials such as All of Us, and also to be the source of truth for questions you may have, and be that content expert for you when you have questions about things and what studies you might or might not want to participate in.
And what you're talking about is very similar to things that we can do online today with 23andMe and some of these others. Compare the two.
Oh, I will let the content experts here speak to that. But I would tell you, when you look at what I would call more commercial and proprietary products that are out there, and that's what they are, they're products. Mm-hmm. They're vastly different than the level of I think, fidelity that you get with the All of Us project. And I'll let the experts comment on that.
Okay.
Well, one thing that's different about this is the commercial products like 23andMe, when they look at your DNA, they're just looking at little bits, it's called markers or SNPs. Mm-hmm. And so not looking at the whole DNA, they're just looking at a limited number of markers.
Okay.
What's really amazing about the All of Us program is they're going to be sequencing the whole genome. Remember back how excited we were when we sequenced the first human genome and what a huge deal it was? Mm-hmm. Well, that's going to be happening to everyone, to all participants. Wow. There's a lot more, there's 3 billion base pairs they're called. It's a huge encyclopedia of information about you. Mm-hmm. And you'll get, whereas the 23andMe, they'll just getting a letter here, a letter there, a letter there. There's a lot more detail. And this will be of enormous value to researchers trying to develop new approaches towards precision medicine.
Okay, that's awesome. And then when you said that people could participate, they also can get the data. How do they do that?
Every participant has access to their own portal. Okay. And through their portal, they will have access to all information that they have given us, as well as information that we got out of all of the data from everybody. Mm-hmm, Of course, the security and the confidentiality is very, very high for this program. The other dimension that I want to mention is that the follow-up is for at least 10 years. Oh. So we are going to follow up people and learn from them, as well as learn from many of them together.
Right.
And especially with the genes and the environment and habit patterns and history of disease. All of those things are going to contribute to that. And every participant will have access to their data, and everybody else.
And we were talking before the show about participating. What if someone doesn't have any illnesses, they don't have diabetes, they have no diseases? Why should they participate?
Okay, well, let's just take diabetes. Diabetes is reaching epidemic levels. It's an enormous public health burden. So number one, if you don't have it, we're all paying for it. We're talking, it's a huge public health expenditure, and it's a huge impact on society. Second of all, we're all susceptible to it. Obesity, I was reading 30 to 40% of the adult population is obese. So a lot of those people are going to go up, and this type 2 diabetes, the more common kind, is a disease of aging. One thing we do now is we identify people who we think are at risk, and we offer them a medication.
Okay.
Once we have precision medicine, we'll be better able to predict who will go on to develop diabetes, and we'll be able to limit who gets this, it's called metformin incidentally, who gets metformin as a preventative measure. So really, I mean, the people here, I really highly encourage participation. This is a very important way to develop data for the ultimate development of precision medicine for this diabetes. If you just look at the epidemiology, it's a very scary proposition.
The other thing that we learn a lot from those people who do not develop disease, I think unless we have a comparison between those who have disease and those who don't, we really are missing something big.
Right.
And we learn a lot from those people who age and continue their life without having a particular disease, even though you would think maybe they could have it. But just to make the differences clear of why are they healthy? What made them healthy? Is it their genes? Okay. Is it their habit patterns? Is it what they practiced? So we will learn that as well.
And I'll add one thing. When you take the level of precision that's in the All of Us study, and then you overlay that with population health studies, you get a picture of geographies that can tell an incredible amount about the socioeconomic, the social determinants, and other influences in the ecological system that folks live in. And in that way, you can actually bend the curve even on chronic illness and scarcity of food, et cetera, in those areas which can directly impact someone's health.
Okay. All right. And let's go to the next slide, because I know we want to talk about sort of the makeup of the body. And,
right.
Oh, wait, this is the, let's jump 2 more and go to the makeup of the body since we're on the subject. This one. So let's talk about how I wanted you to address this and kind of give us an idea of what we're looking at.
Right, so this is the information that we'll have for people entering the program, and we'll collect it along the way as well. And genomics is what I was talking about, the sequencing of the genome, which is really amazing. The assays for blood and urine, these will give us laboratory markers that we can look at to help. These will be the markers that ultimately may turn out to be predictive of who will go on to develop disease, or who, an indicator of how healthy you are, and again, to better be able to target medicine to those who need it.
Okay.
Now, to continue with that theme, as you can see here, the surveys up there will give us information on their exposures, on their diet, on where they live, on what they were exposed to, their occupation, and then next to that is the electronic health records. So we learn a lot from the history, the medical history of people, whether they have one disease or two or more, or did not have any. We learn a lot from that information on how to predict. Using that information and their genomics, we would learn quite a bit to really predict what are they at risk for.
Right.
And if we know what they are at risk for, then we can do the prevention that's necessary to maintain health.
Okay.
And lastly, sensor data, that's simply Fitbits or similar devices to how much exercise do you need to prevent the development of certain diseases.
Okay, now let's talk about the participants. Now, what are you looking for?
We're looking for everybody who is over age 18.
Oh, wow.
And the program is very proud to say that we are the only program that will include 1 million people.
Wow.
And with the maximum diversity that we can. So we want diversity by age, by race, ethnicity, by socioeconomic status, by preferences, by anything you want. We want a diverse population of 1 million people. And through that, we are going to have a prediction models for disease and health that is going to be amazing, and people will benefit from that in the long run.
So Hoda, what are we looking at now?
What we're looking at is that people are always curious about what kind of questions do you really ask from a program like this? Mm-hmm. And how is that going to affect the community at large? Mm-hmm. And how would the community react to that program? How the community will benefit from such a program? So the kind of questions that we're going to be answering here in this program is how can we, as an example, that's not all of the questions, but as an example, how can we prevent chronic pain? A lot of people have pain, especially older people have a lot of pain. And how can we prevent that pain without being addicted to some medication?
Right.
So this kind of program will give us the information in order to do that with a precision that is going to be preventing that pain without going through medications that will make them addicted to it.
Okay.
Another question that one can ask is how will we stop a dementia in older people? Dementia is important. We don't know what the cause. We know that it affects social factors, it affects families, it affects cost, and it affects our healthcare in general.
Right.
So those kinds of questions can be answered by the precision medicine in a very specific way, and without going through a lot of pain for families and for the individual. I can go on and give you more questions that we can answer, but the main thing is that it will answer it for everybody, that will prevent and make sure that we don't have disparities that in terms of interventions.
Right.
Because every person is going to be characterized by their own information.
Right.
So if we are going to prevent the disparities as much as we can in the population in our communities.
Right.
And because of that, the importance of having such a program in a medical center with multiple specialties and with excellence in research is really very important.
Right.
So I want Rick to talk about that a little bit, about how our medical center at UCI Health can actually address those issues and ready to do it. We are doing it already.
Well, the first part of the answer would be this: how do folks participate? And one thing is, we're the only health system, UCI Health, that has the All of Us study as part of what we offer patients and individuals who come into every one of our clinics.
Mm-hmm.
So whether you're in primary care or any one of our specialty clinics, you have access to join the study, which is really important. Second part is, every day we're in the fight against disease and chronic illness. And as we heard from our experts here, this information is so vitally important for us to answer those really deep questions.
Right.
It allows our clinicians to address those on an individual level, but also on a population level, so we can affect more folks over time.
Excellent. All right, we're going to take a break. And when we return, we will be talking about how you participate and who can participate. We'll be right back.
What lies inside all of us is more than data. It's life. What's flowing through America's veins is its diversity. We ask for 1 million individuals to come forward and stand on this landmark in history. All of us are different, and it's those very differences that will lead to answers for generations to come.
Welcome back. Well, now we're going to talk about the participants and how you can participate and who they're looking for. Well, gosh, I know you want 1 million people, so what are you actually looking for and how can they be involved?
Okay, we're looking for everybody who's over age 18.
Right.
And we want as much diversity as possible, as I said before. And what we have here in Orange County and at the UCI Health is multiple places where people can participate.
Okay.
In Laguna Woods in particular, it's at the community center, and we already have presence there, and we have an open door on Monday and Tuesday, and we take appointments every day, and we will tell you a little bit later the telephone number or the link that you can log in and start your participation.
Okay.
But we have several places where people can participate. They can come into the Gavin Herbert Eye Institute at UCI campus.
Okay.
We have the Gottschalk Clinic on the UCI campus. We have the Santa Ana Clinic and the Anaheim Clinic.
Okay.
Both are operating with all of us. And of course, again, the a community center here in Laguna Woods.
Now, when you say community center, do you mean the senior center?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
great.
Yes.
Great, perfect.
Absolutely.
All right.
And,
Wonderful.
and we really are very successful. And I will show you some data in a little bit
Okay.
about the people who already participated from Laguna Woods.
All right, great. And this is the process,
So
correct?
this is the
Okay.
process. When some people, we would like them if they log in and participate online, and everything is digital. The good thing about this program, there is no pieces of papers or pencils or anything like that. Everything is digital, and it depends on their preference. So they log in and they get on the computer. They get the website that we have, and they on the website they can start participating by signing a consent form.
Okay.
And the consent on computer is for their participation, and then another consent for the electronic medical records.
Okay.
And that's really very important. Those two consents are very important to sign first
Right.
before we can even start anything.
Right.
Once that happens, then there is what's called PPI, participant provided information. And the participant provided information comes in the form of questionnaires. Again, on computer, they fill all those out. There are 3 of them.
Okay.
Once they complete those, then they are ready for a clinic visit.
Okay.
And the clinic visit then come in at any of our clinics, and including the Laguna Woods a community center as well.
At any one time, do you, I know you're part of the research, but at any time, do you see it this early, or do you not see it until later?
I'm sorry.
The results, the results, or do you participate at the front end?
Right, well, I participate in helping set up the program and the recruitment effort, but already the data portal is being set up and it's new, so the results are being now made available through the new research portal.
Okay.
And ultimately, as time goes by, we get more patients and get more information on the patients. Ultimately, that will be a very, very rich resource for research into various diseases, including the one I'm most interested in, diabetes.
Diabetes, okay. And then how about you? At what point do you participate? I mean, I know you're obviously at the front end here, but then do you continue to be part of it?
Well, through the process, of course, UCI Health and all of its different entities and how it really expresses itself as an academic unit, research unit, but also clinically involved in the whole process. But one thing I wanted to point out is, although this slide may look cumbersome in many ways, it's a simple process. It is very efficient and I think easy for participants to navigate and get the information in there, and then the clinic visit is next. It really is very easily accessed and efficiently run program.
Okay, excellent. And then let's go to the next slide, because I know you have a little bit you want to talk about diversity.
Right. I just want to mention also that it takes about half an hour to complete the study.
All right.
And once they complete the study, then we give them a $25 gift card.
Oh, that's right.
So we thank them because of that. The study is proud to have, especially our study here in Orange County, is proud to have the diversity that is needed for the program. And this slide shows that diversity that we're looking for. Right. So we are one of the main centers in the U.S. that have the highest number of Asians and have the highest number of Hispanics in our participants group. So, and we've completed already 7,000 participants from Orange County. So we are very, very proud of that.
Fantastic.
Yes.
All right, so with that said, you have an awful lot of people, 7,000 from Orange County. I know you have had many participants here from Laguna Woods Village.
Right.
Tell me about that.
They are 74 so far.
Excellent.
74 participants. Okay. And the distribution is right here. We have the majority of them. 32% of them are 70 to 79 years old.
Okay.
And I want to really mention the over 90 in particular, because we have a more representation of the over 90 in our group here from Laguna Woods. So
we have a lot of 90-year-olds. We really do, and over 90. I'm really happy they get out there and do that.
I would like all the over 90s to come and participate. That's very, very good.
That's excellent.
So
that's excellent.
We thank the community, and we really appreciate their participation, and we welcome them anytime.
Okay, and then our last slide that we have is how to get a hold of the program, how to participate. There is a website, and then you also have a phone number that you can use. And so we have 949-824-0282, or of course the website.
Just they need to say, to put into their computers, allofus.health.uci.edu.
I would imagine if you put all of us program or research, it probably come up, right?
It does come up, actually.
Okay.
But if they just log in, and they will be right in, and they can put in their password and their name, and they become 1 in a million.
That's excellent.
That's what it is.
Any last words?
No, I just encourage people to participate. It'll provide a valuable resource for research into disease and precision medicine.
Okay, and how about you?
Same. I think as Orange County's only academic health system, it's important for us to bring these cutting-edge opportunities for clinical trials to the populations we serve.
That's great. Well, thank you all for joining us
today.
Thank
you for having us.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If you would like to participate in the All of Us research program or want more information, please visit their website at allofus.health.uci.edu. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time to learn more about your health.